All right, Eric, I'm delighted that you're taking time and we get to share a conversation. For those who don't know who you are yet, we've known each other for some years now, and you are one of the founders of Heylo. And Heylo is an online platform that you specifically built to support people who are creating communities, I'll call it in the real world, in the physical world, to have a tool to help bring the people they care about together with communication, with planning, with growth sharing in ways that was super easy. And one of the reasons we're still friends and the reasons that I'm so excited about what you're doing is you shared with me that you were aware that the other platforms that were built ostensibly to help community leaders bring their people together were treating members as inventory, not as customers. That they said they were platform building community, but what they're really doing was trying to gather eyeballs to get access to checkbooks to sell those members to advertisers or sponsors. And you said you didn't want that. And when we first became friends and you were sharing me the market that you saw was really hungry was running groups, that across the country, there are people who are trying to get fit, who want to train, who need to schedule, who want to create social events, who want to invite their spouses and their best friends to run. And they needed a tool to do that that wasn't polluted with advertising, that wasn't polluted with other agendas. And you said, I'm going to create it. And for those who don't know, you worked with Google for years. One of the things you did with Google is you invested Google money in trying to invest in the future and finding tools that were better. We're not going to adjudicate whether you did a good job on that. But the idea is you looked at the technical landscape and said, what is not actually working that we need to build? And I'm delighted that you invested in this. And you know that because I've written the books, I've been approached over the years by so many people who said, I want to create a better online platform because I don't like what's out there. And I said in so many words, duh, I don't like them either. And there's a lot of bodies on that road, if you will. And here you are still standing. So thank you for spending this time. And I'm looking forward to getting a glimpse of what you've been learning recently.
Thank you, Charles. Really appreciate the introduction. It's a real honor. I've always admired and looked up to you and your work. Your book is still top recommendation that I provide to all of the community leaders that we are fortunate enough to support on Heylo. It's literally linked in our leaders group. So thank you for sharing your wisdom. And yeah, super excited to dive in.
Okay. Well, to give perspective of what you're doing on Heylo's platform, you have over 100,000 people using it. You told me that every month, tens of thousands are logging in and engaging with it, finding information and planning. And you told me within the month, you're going to officially have over 1 million check-ins among members to events, which is to say you've helped facilitate over 1 million member experiences. And I use Heylo, and I don't even use the check-ins because I don't care about tracking that for my gatherings, which is to say I know that number is actually conservative. And the number of people I talk to who I know has physically facilitated over 1 million experiences of people coming together and having experience they want is pretty rare. So respect to you for putting in the effort and building that out.
Yeah, I was just going to say one of the things that I think continues to inspire me is just the diversity of ways in which people get together. Included in that 1 million number are everything from supper clubs, like such that similar to what you've written about in your book, but all the way to safe spaces for Black hikers or for women's only running groups or for LGBTQ plus cycling clubs. And I think it continues to inspire me that people are coming together to pursue the things that they love with other people. And I just think we need more of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were talking just recently about how you've noticed there are people who are effectively community leaders, right? They're bringing people together for supper clubs. They're organizing their friends for running groups. They're creating campouts for a group of outdoor enthusiasts, and they don't know they're a community leader. And you know they're a community leader because they're obviously critical in a group of people who share some value and purpose, camping, getting together and doing that thing. And you found that a lot of your role is showing them, look, you're already doing this. You are important. Let's get you a tool that makes what you're already doing better and more fun for you. So it's not so much work and you don't have to think it out because somebody's already thought it out. Could you share a little bit about me, how you've realized there are people who are doing a really good job bringing people together and they don't understand that they're doing that or how important it is that they're doing it?
I think one of the biggest travesties of leading a community is that you often don't recognize, one, that you're indeed a leader, or two, that your work is as valuable as it is. And what I've seen is that as a leader, like over time, you start to appreciate it. because you start to like get these kind of anecdotes that come out of these experiences that you've facilitated where, yeah, maybe someone came on your camping trip, but those folks that came, they started to form friendships with one another, or they were able to support each other in difficult times in their lives, or they were able to help each other professionally, like get a job or review a resume or get introduced to a new company or form romantic relationships. And as a leader, like over time, you start to like hear these anecdotes and these experiences, and you're like, wow, like turns out those camping trips that I was hosting, like really do make a bigger impact than like just getting people to walk in the woods. But in the outset, like we often see that people who are stepping up to do that, they don't necessarily grasp the full magnitude of the true impact that they're having on people's lives, which extends so far beyond the activity. And I understand it, because it's very difficult to predict what's going to happen when you bring people together. At your dinner parties, I don't know what's going to happen. I know I'm going to get a great meal. But beyond that, and be with good people. But beyond that, I can't point to any of the tangible benefits in advance. Following up, I always can. I met someone really cool. I learned a new idea. I experienced something for the first time. It's like, but like there's a limit of predictability from what I've seen. And that makes it hard, I think, as the leader to know going into the experience that you're about to host, understand the true like magnitude of what you're doing. The one thing I will say is that more times than not, the magnitude is greater than walking in the woods.
Yeah. So that the person organizing may be counting how many people are in the woods and like how far they went. You and I are looking for where phone numbers traded. Did someone say, hey, I'm going to make an introduction to that person in your field that you want to talk to because you're trying to grow? Did someone say, oh, I'm going to introduce you to a new healthcare option that you're looking for because you're in pain? Like, we don't care how many people came on the hike, and we don't care how long the hike was. If 10 people traded healthcare information that's meaningfully going to address pain, then let's give that a high five.
And that stuff is harder to quantify. It's harder to like specifically measure and see as the leader. And so I think sometimes there are some blind spots that for sure happen. But I think over the duration of time, as you continue to lead and host, you start to kind of match the patterns and identify like, those two people, they didn't know each other before they started to come on our hikes. And now they do. And it's the space that you've been able to create as a leader that facilitate that connection and helping people form relationships with one another. I don't think there's any greater value in the world that you could create.